Alrighty, so today I wanted to check out World Flipper and kind of give you sort of almost like a review, kinda, or just like a, I don't know, PSA maybe about the game, because it literally just launched for global, so it is pretty much brand new. It's been out for like 2 or 3 days at this point, and I've been having a lot of fun with it actually. I heard about the game like a couple of months ago and was like, I don't know, it's just been one of the only games to really catch my eye that have been gacha games. So yeah, I've been anticipating it, and it now is out, and honestly it's pretty like unique and fun, but there are a couple of things that maybe I wanted to go over that might be a deal breaker, I guess, for you, because I know a lot of gacha players are different. A lot of people play games for PvP, PvE, you know, pull rates need to be, you know, whatever, different kinds of things like that. So let's go over the pull rates and kind of stuff like that first. So if we go to the normal banner on the game at the moment, I don't know why, but it does this weird little laggy thing until the thing actually gets done. But yeah, if we look at the pull rates for the game, they're honestly not too bad per se. It is a 5% chance to pull a 5-star, which is the highest highest rarity in the game. So honestly, not terrible, but so one thing to note is that there are a ton of units in this game. Like I think somebody said there's like over 100 units to start the game off, which is honestly pretty insane. I didn't mean to click on that guy. I don't know if a lot of those are 3 stars or what. It doesn't seem like there's maybe like an actual 100, unless they're just not all on this banner to start with. But there's like a ton of characters, like, which is maybe a little unfortunate because you're not really going to be able to get the character that you want as easily. But honestly, 5% is pretty decent. Like, a lot of people complain, when it's like lower than 3%, and I can definitely understand that. Like 3% even. I played Grand Cross a lot, so if you know me from there, yeah, 3% can be definitely a pain, like if you just don't pull something in a while. The game does not have a pity system, which is very unfortunate. That's one of the biggest like deal breakers for some players, which is very unfortunate. But I think that the fact that the rates are about 5%, you have a decent chance to get an SSR or a 5-star. With your pulls, I think I pulled a 5-star on my first pull, but I have not actually pulled another 5-star yet, which is something that I feel like a pity system would help with. But as far as I know, there's like a Japanese or like Korean version of this game already that's been out for a while, and they've not added any sort of pity system to that game, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't necessarily think there's going to be a pity system added in the future. So if that's a deal breaker for you, maybe look elsewhere or don't get your hopes up for this game. But yeah, honestly, rates aren't terrible. We can go ahead and do a summon really quickly. I pretty much grinded out some of the story just for this video, so we could do at least one summon on the video. So let's go ahead and do one. I love the art style for the game, honestly. Just like these little like 8-bit sprites and characters and such are just like, I don't know, super cool to me. So we're getting a really good amount of 4 stars. So there's not a guarantee that I'm getting a 5-star, but there is a mechanic. I don't know if we'll see it here or not. I haven't seen it for the past couple of summons that I've done. But sometimes whenever you summon, it will kind of like take one of your like gacha pulls. I guess they're just like little capsules, little balls, and it'll like drop it down almost like a what is the Plinko? Like almost like a little Plinko board, and it'll have a chance to hit certain things and upgrade the pull, which is kind of interesting. I don't have this girl, so that's kind of cool. The biggest thing I think about the game that's very interesting is that you don't necessarily have to pull for specific characters. You can basically just pull for specific elements. So if I'm not mistaken, there's fire, water, electric, grass, and then there's light and dark are all of the elements. And you know, different elements are going to be better for different activities and such. So you basically want to build your team around an element, not necessarily just like a character. So whenever you do your pulls and stuff like that, like if you do get a pretty decent character, so this girl's fire, she's brand new, I could put her on a fire team, so that way hopefully, you know, I can get some benefit out of her, and they can sort of, you know, synchronize, sort of like have synergy with their characters, or with her teammates and everything like that. So pretty cool. I think I like that a lot. There is not PvP in the game, which is a little unfortunate. I can kind of see why. Obviously, you'll sort of see once we get into the actual like gameplay, which I'll kind of try to start messing around in the background. But yeah, so there's no PvP in the game. I think it would be really cool if there was like a head-to-head mode or something like that you could do. Obviously, because the game itself is literally just like a pinball game, there's not really a way for you to just like go up against somebody. Like I wouldn't think that there would be anyway, but I think it would be cool if there was like a boss mode where it was like a boss in the middle maybe, and then you and another person match up, and then whoever does the most damage to the boss or whatever maybe gets the win. So I think that would be kind of neat, but there is no regular PvP in the game. There's a couple of different modes for PvE, but I kind of like that because honestly it makes it to where I'm not, you know, struggling to try and like keep up with the meta or chase after certain characters because they're better in PvP, etc., which I have enough trouble already doing in Grand Cross. So let's kind of play the game here. You can see our very first thing. You can see the paddles down here. We basically start off with it swaying back and forth. You get to choose which trajectory you want it to kind of like shoot in. So we'll just shoot off here. There's different little collectibles and sort of like enemies and stuff like that on the map that you can hit. So I don't know, there's all kinds of different obstacles and stuff on certain maps. You can see these tentacles are shooting off little projectiles and stuff. But one thing that's really, really cool is that you don't necessarily just have to worry about like, oh, hey, I didn't hit it in the right spot. Because there is a sort of like, I guess, a helpful mechanic where you can shoot your character off, and then if you click, you can only do it so many times, but if you click while you're already like up on the top of the board, it will kind of like sort of charge your characters, like dash them towards whatever their closest you know, enemy or whatever they target really is. So like if I go up here and then I click, it'll sort of dash. It's hard to see right here, but like I can click right there and you can see they shot up. But yeah, so a lot of the stages and stuff have different kinds of bosses and everything. That is one of the really cool mechanics that I like, is the break mechanic. So basically the bosses will sort of have different sorts of moves that they'll sort of charge up and get ready to attack you with, and if you don't hit the break points that appear on the boss, then you're gonna have a hard time, because then they're gonna shoot off the big move and it's not gonna stun them, and you'll take a lot more damage. So you kind of want to try to get as precise with some of your shots as possible. You can also activate different sorts of moves and stuff like that, which is really nice. This move right here actually gives me Pierce, which lets me move through enemies, which is really, really nice. So it's easier to hit break points and stuff like that, and it also deals like a ton of damage. Every character does have an ultimate move, which is really, really cool. A lot of them look really you know, over the top and can be pretty flashy, but honestly I think that just kind of adds to the charm of the game. I do like the fact that you basically make a team of 3 characters, and then you can have 3 support units with each, or 1 support unit with each character, so a total of 6 characters on a team. And then you basically just use your main characters as the pinballs and just knock them around the map, and then activate their like skills and everything like that to sort of help you, you know, fight the enemies on the board, which I think is really neat. Obviously, some stages are going to have different sorts of like bumpers and little obstacles in the way that kind of prevent you from hitting maybe in certain directions, or just, you know, altogether just kind of hinder your movement a little bit. But it just, you know, sort of adds to the skill factor of the game. You want to try to, you know, knock it in certain directions or whatever the case may be. And there is like a little indicator when you're like on the bottom, which kind of lets you know where you're sort of shooting it, which is nice. You just kind of have to play it and get the hang of it. But honestly, I have a ton of fun with the gameplay. It's, you know, it's very almost, it's just very innovative, I guess, in my opinion. Like I don't ever see a game that plays like this. Obviously, pinball is pretty outdated, and there's not a lot of games that have sort of pinball mechanics. So it's really just neat and, you know, just fun that that's the way that the gameplay and stuff works in this game. There is also a boss battles mode, which is really fun. We can actually go, and I think as you progress through the story mode, you unlock different kinds of bosses, but you can actually go in and do co-op, which is really cool. One of the downsides, though, is I think for the global version of the game, they have made it to where boss battles are region locked, so because I'm in the US, I can only play with other players in the US, which is very unfortunate. I don't really know why they would do that, to be honest. I guess it's like maybe a lag issue or something like that they didn't anticipate, maybe, because I know the previous version for the game, it's either Japanese or Korean. I can't remember exactly which version it is, but I guess because they're only, you know, in one small area, they wouldn't have to worry about lag or anything like that, because, you know, everybody that is playing the game that's maybe not using like a VPN or playing overseas or something like that should be in, you know, one area. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Once you're in this mode, obviously you do have to wait for people to join if you want them to, but on their screen, this little bell up here will actually like start ringing, and it'll let them know that there's a match that people are wanting to you know, join. So I think with this guy being ranked 30 and a lot of his characters actually already being leveled up, I think we can just go ahead and hop right in. I think this guy will probably deal way more damage than me, so he'll probably carry me through this, which I've beat this one before, but it's honestly pretty cool. Like, it's just, you know, you and your teammate kind of going in, and obviously you can have a third as well, but with this mode specifically, you kind of want to stay away from his, you know, his projectile that he shoots towards you, and then he'll have little breakpoints like down there. You could see he was going to activate an attack skill, so you want to stay away from the bottom of the map, and then you and your teammate can hit the breakpoints, so it's not just you know, trying to hit these little spots. So I hit that one over there, he hit the one on the left, which is very good, so we synergize there. And then we can stun the enemy, so that way we don't have to worry about him hitting off like a really big attack or anything. So I don't know, it's just the gameplay's just really fun, honestly. Like, I'm really liking just how simple yet, you know, skill based it is. Like, you can actually have a ton of fun, and obviously the better you are at like timing it and just figuring out the trajectory of your shots and stuff like that, it can be very, very good. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun playing it. I did, on day one, they were having a couple of issues with servers where it would kind of kick you out a couple of times. Well, it was pretty often, honestly, which made it very unplayable for certain people. But I think they have completely fixed that. They did a maintenance thing last night, and they made it to where I haven't had that issue since. So far it's been really good. The only other issue that I've had is it's kind of annoying, but whenever you, like, if I log in with an emulator and play it on my computer like I am now, and I switch to my phone, the first time that it tries to log in, it'll basically give me like an account error, and then I'll have to log back in, which doesn't take very much time at all. But I think it's kind of weird, like, that it does that instead of me just having to, you know, just log in with my phone and it being like, okay, you're good. But really not even like a big issue, to be honest. But so far, I don't know, I've just been really enjoying the game. Like, a lot of the gacha games and stuff like that I try out here and there, I end up dropping pretty quickly. But with this game being like purely PvE, just kind of fun to mess around with, I can see this one being one that I would actually just enjoy playing on the regular, or just, you know, having fun, like just playing it in my free time. So I don't know, if you're interested in it, it is available right now on the App Store. I'm sure it's available on Google Play and on iOS, so feel free to download it and play it if you want to. I'm not sponsored or anything by the game. I just genuinely enjoy it so far, and yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it, though. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you do play the game or whatever. I'd love to. I'll actually go ahead and just show my account or whatever if you want, so that way you can add me if you feel like it. But there's my account ID. I don't know if that's exactly how you add people, but yeah, feel free to shoot me a friend request or do whatever you want to do. I'm sure, you know, if we're in the same region, we can do some boss battles together or something like that. But that's it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the game if you've already played it, or, you know, let me know if there's another game that's coming out soon. I know a lot of people have been talking about the slime game that's coming out, I think, in November. I'm sure I'll try that whenever it comes out, but yeah, looking forward to it. So that's it for me. See you guys in the next video.